So, for those people who are wanting to improve and better their lives, how do you deal with trolls and people who are, trying to bring you back down? You know that story about the crabs, if they're all trying to escape the bucket, they'll pull other crabs back in rather than try to get themselves out. So how do we deal with, those people who are always going to be negative and bring you down and try to keep you in that little box?
I think the first thing is to recognize that they can only do that if you allow them. Like, everybody's going to have their opinion, and everybody's got their perspective. And it would make sense that if you were to step into their mind and you would look at what you're doing based on their perspective, you'd probably look at yourself and be like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. They're just not going to get it. So it's not about trying to get other people to see things as the way that you do. I don't think we need to be evangelists or trying to convince or convert people. When people want to change, then they'll go look. We have a huge search engine that'll find you basically anything in the world. So when you're ready to learn that thing, it's there for you. So if somebody's trolling or they're in that place, and I think this is more relevant to if I identify with a certain group of people and I recognize that I'm outgrowing that group or I'm changing from that group, then I'm going to feel the pull to want to stay into that. I'm going to feel the pull to want to domesticate myself or contort myself to stay in that group. And it can be really painful when we realize that we're changing and outgrowing things. And so I resist the temptation to villainize, to make the other people bad, right? Resist the temptation to be like, oh, they're just not this, or they don't read these books, they don't do this. And it's like, that's just their choice. And then whatever comments they may have, they can sting, but ultimately they can't do anything to keep you from growing. They can't do anything to keep you from becoming who you want to become. And I think that that's the most powerful thing, is just recognizing, as Don Miguel Ruiz says, it's one of the 4 agreements. We don't have to take things personally. It's a lot easier said than done, but I think it gives us a lot of freedom when we recognize we don't have to. It's just a choice. It's a choice to take things personally.